Peace and blessings, everyone. I hope all is well. This is your girl, Serena, and welcome to Poetry, Publishing, and Literary Artistry. So, on today's segment, I am going to share with you a form of poetry. So, we already talked about pantoum poems. So, today we're going to talk about free verse poetry. And for those who are new to my segments, welcome. Welcome again. What you learn here is a bit of poetry, self-publishing. I am a self-published author, and literary artistry, just the overall arts of writing and being poetic and creative. So we are going to work on a form of free verse poetry. So for those who don't know, there are over 50 forms of poetry in the world. Yeah, over 50 forms and counting, right? And free verse is one of them. Now, the one thing I want to dispel a myth on, and I know I've done it in other segments, but I always get the question, do poems have to rhyme? And the answer is no, they do not have to rhyme. Rhymed poetry is a form of poetry. So it's one of the 50 plus forms. So some people are masters at rhyming, right? And you got some who are like, no, I really have a hard time rhyming. And that's okay because you do not have to rhyme in order to create poetry. All right. So take that stress off your back. So what is free? Free verse. It's just like this picture right here. It is absolutely free, and you are just writing to write poetry. It is poetry that does not have a rhyme scheme, as I talked about already, or a consistent metrical pattern. So, for those who tuned into the Pantoum poetry segment, if you haven't, go back and check out the replay. And we talked about the pattern that Pantoum poems have. Um, Another pattern type poem or one that has a metrical, a rhythm of some sort are haiku. Haikus are 5, 7, and 5 syllables, and that's it. That is it. Another one is a cleave, and don't worry, stay tuned. I'm going to come back and we're going to do some haikus and cleave, Cleave poems. But it's free verse is different than formal verse. Formal verse is poetry that is shaped by rules for rhyme schemes, metrical pattern, or other fixed structures, forms of poetry. So that is not free verse. So, in other words, it is your world, okay? And you are not confined to rhyming or any form of poetry. You are just writing poetry to write, and then when it's done, you know it will be over. So I won't leave you hanging there. We're going to I'm going to show an example of what is a free verse poem. All right, let's get to the next. Here we go. So this is an example from my book, Crying Tears of Teal. I am a four-time self-published author. I have four poetry books under my belt. Crying Tears of Teal was my second book baby that was released September 2017. So the color teal represents ovarian cancer awareness. So I have some teal on today, a little bit of teal in my earrings. When this is recorded, it is the month of September, which is National Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month. So this is very timing that I'm going to go through this poem within this month. So, Crying Tears of Teal, I wrote this at my mother's bedside, a little bit about me. My mother was diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer, August 2009. and unfortunately passed away 6 months later. But I wrote a lot of poetry at her bedside. That's what artists do, writers do. We dive in to our artistry sometimes during a time of great distress. It's our therapy. I tell people it's like my mobile healing room when I go into my laptop or an app on my phone and start writing. So I would share some of my poetry after I would write my poetry. She might be asleep. She might have been undergoing chemotherapy and sometimes would doze off. And then when she would wake up, she would say, "Hey, share with me what you wrote." Not knowing it'd be a book, I promised to her after she said, "Promise me you will turn these poems into a book to help people feel like they're not alone on this journey, whether they're a caregiver, whether they're going through the battle, and even survivors." So I kept that promise, and 7 years after she passed away, I published Crying Tears of Teal. So this is Teal Mementos, and you're going to see, you might hear a little bit of rhyming, and that's fine because in free verse is free. Okay, so I can add rhyming if I want to. I don't have to add rhyming, but it is free. And then when the poem was done, I knew it was done. There was really just nothing else to add. So Teal Mementos, color as bright as a peacock's feathers, a mermaid's tail, flower petals whisked away in the wind, almost the color of clear blue water. Gentle waves dance around your feet, clear stones made bright blue reflecting the sunlight. Teal topaz gemstones that encircle a neckline. Bold blue representing a new you, decorating a room in hues of emerald green and teal blue. Wind chimes that move to the soft breeze. As the earth inhales and exhales through my window pane, breathing in the new beginning of a total restart, placing a ribbon on your chest as you join the rest of your sisters that battled ovarian cancer, a sea of teal before the Capitol steps, shouting for a cure, more research and tests, so no one else has to stress over this wicked killer. Teal mementos adorn the households of thousands, the bold yet beautiful, gentle to the eyes and soft to the touch. Teal hearts that will soon heal the masses. Lives that were once colored midnight blue now have a new hue with some zeal called teal, with a splash of wonderful mementos reminding you of your days ahead and all that you've gone through. So that is Teal Mementos. That is in the last journey in my book. Crying Tears of Teal, the chapters are called journeys. So that is in journey 5. It's for the survivors. So dedicated to the survivors and those who are caregivers as we become advocates and we are at their side, fighting for a cure, fighting for more accurate tests or just accurate tests, period. How about that? Period. So that's Teal Mementos. It's free. I just wrote from the heart. I was not thinking of rhyming or this or that or certain stanzas. I just wanted to write until the poem was done. And that is the beauty of it being free verse. Okay, so that is my time for today. Stop by again where I will teach about some self publishing techniques and tips and take you through some of the process to help those who want to be self published authors. I will share more poetry and poetry forms. And we'll share forms like this where we take a time out to see what is the particular form, why is it called that form, and who knows, maybe I'll come by and even give y'all a writing prompt here or there, okay? So you can follow me on social media platforms at Divine Right, and Divine Right is my spoken word name. DIVINEWRYTE. Divine Right is also the name of my health and wellness coaching practice. I'm a health and wellness coach, so Divine Right Wellness. So yeah, look for me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, um, et cetera, under Divine Right, except for Facebook. You have to look me up under my government name, Serena Wills, and you'll find my author page. So, yeah, write some poetry today or, you know, try some free verse. And, if you follow me on social media, let me know how it goes. All right. So, come on back. Thank you for your time and many blessings. And take care for now. Bye now.